Committee, and that's Mrs. Schmidt. I will make the motion. As with the IU, we need a motion to approve the appointment of Mrs. Schmidt to the Upper Bucks County Technical School Committee. This is also for a term of 3 years as prescribed in the school code. These terms run sequentially. There are three-year terms running at all times, and as it turns out, Mrs. Schmidt is starting a new full 3-year term, not replacing someone else. So I thank her for this. Do we have a second for this motion?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Deming, moved by Dr. Yarnell, seconded by Mr. Deming to appoint Mrs. Schmidt to the Upper Bucks County Technical School Committee. Comments or questions from board members? Hearing and seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 9-0. Mrs. Schmidt?
The Upper Bucks Tech School Committee met twice, once on December 19th, once on January 16th. Just a brief recap of the 2 meetings. The December meeting, there was the election of officers. Dwight Anderson from Quakertown is the new chairman. Jim Hollowell is the vice chair. Both December and January, the students of the month for the tech school were both Pennridge students, so we were proud to see that. There was, in the December meeting, an audit report, was reported no weaknesses or reportable issues found. That was year ending June 30th, 2013. There was discussion by Mr. Godshaw, the architect, who will be working on the renovations of the school. He presented renovation plans and brief discussion on the meeting that was upcoming with the Bedminster Township. The student-built house, which perhaps Dr. Yarnell, you can tell us how long it's been there, but.
Too long.
Okay.
It turns out that the house did not sell this year. I think for the first time did not sell early on at all. It was really a struggle, and
But they
we're
were-
very glad that it has now finally sold.
Yes, they were happy to report that this student-built house has sold for $28,500. Also in December, there was approval of students to attend the PA Farm Show and the Skills USA District 11 competition. January meeting, there was a tentative budget for 2014-2015 presented. Architect report, again, he met with the supervisors on 1/29. They seemed agreeable with the requests, and they will be putting in a request for a waiver from land development. There was approval of student participation in the HOSA State Conference in Lancaster and a hair show in New York City. Revised school calendar was approved, and discussion on the bond issue from Jamie Doyle from Public Financial Management. There was discussion there, the bond that Dr. Yarnell referred to for the renovations, and she will be present at the February 4th Finance meeting here to discuss that. And the tech school will meet again on February 20th at 7:30 p.m. at the Upper Bucks County Technical School.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. I would comment that she modestly overlooked the fact that she was also elected as the secretary for this coming, or I'm sorry, not the treasurer, my mistake, the treasurer for this coming year. So now she has to not abscond with any of the money that they don't have. And I would comment that the budget, also the budget that has been passed by the JOC now needs to be passed by each of the sending boards. I believe Palisades has already done so, Quakertown is going to do so. I presume we will be doing so, or attempting to do so, hopefully doing so, on the 24th and discussing this on the 4th. So that budget is a little easier to swallow than some because it's actually a decrease due to the funding formula there and the fact that for none of the schools can the increase exceed the index. That's essentially a gentleman's agreement. Quakertown drew the short straw this year because of their enrollment, so they actually will see the 2.1% increase, but our change is less than 1% decrease. I don't think.
Mine is 2. Oh, I have mine is 2.14%.
It's like $63,000.
So it's not a big number, but it certainly isn't an increase, so it won't hurt us in that sense. So board members, as I mentioned, Passing the vocational technical school budget actually requires 2 of the 3 sending boards to pass it by a majority, and a total of 14 of the 27 board members of the 3 sending districts to vote in the affirmative. Not responding or not being here counts as a no vote for all effective purposes, because you have to have the 14. So I thank you for that consideration. And I did note that, as Mr. Smith said, there is a timeline now for the bonds, trying to pass this. We will be discussing this resolution on the 12th, if I remember correctly. The 4th we'll be discussing it, the 12th we will approve the resolution, if this discussion goes forward. That's what's on here, I don't know whether, so Mrs. Johnson, if you will, consider that, see if that's reasonable, or, but if not, then it would have to go presumably to the 24th. And then they could go out to, for the borrowing, presuming Quaker Town also does the same. All right.